The VA has proposed changes to how it will rate all mental health conditions. Now, just to be perfectly clear, this proposed change will have nothing to do with establishing service connection for a mental health condition. It will only affect the rating level you receive for that condition. Now, the VA is proposing a very in-depth process to turn your disability into a rating, to the point where I had a hard time figuring out how to break this down for a video. So let's see if I can actually explain this. Overall, the VA wants to make the decision on what percentage to rate a veteran's mental health disability more objective. The idea is that if the system is more objective, there will be less to argue about and less to appeal. In reality, this won't eliminate disagreements with decisions. Instead, it'll only change where and how they happen. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The VA is proposing to rate mental health disabilities across 5 domains, which are cognition, interpersonal interactions and relationships, task completion and life activities, navigating environments, and self-care. You can think of each domain as an area of life. Now, the VA wants to give each veteran a score for how frequently they experience a specific difficulty level in each of those domains. The levels of difficulty are none, mild, moderate, severe, and total. All right, so what do those words mean? Well, none is pretty easy. It means none. Mild is slight difficulties in one or more aspects of the domain that do not interfere with tasks, activities, or relationships. Moderate is clinically significant difficulties in one or more aspects of the domain that do interfere with tasks, activities, or relationships. Now, severe is serious difficulties in one or more aspects of the domain that interfere with tasks, activities, or relationships. While total is profound difficulties in one or more aspects of the domain that cannot be managed or remediated. They're incapable of even the most basic tasks within one or more aspects of the domain, and they're difficulties that completely interfere with tasks, activities, or relationships. Now, the criteria for these levels of difficulty aren't exactly the same for each domain, but I'm not going to dwell on that for this video. What I do want to say is that there is a lot of gray area between the words slight, clinically significant, serious, and profound. All right. The next part of this is that the VA was going to take the frequency at which you experience those difficulty levels and turn it into a score. So if your impairment level is none, then your score would be 0. If your impairment level is mild at any frequency, or you have a moderate impairment that occurs less than 25% of the time, then you would have a score of 1. If your impairment level is moderate at least 25% of the time, or you have a severe impairment less than 25% of the time, then you would have a score of 2. If your impairment is severe at least 25% of the time, or you have a total impairment less than 25% of the time, then you would have a score of 3. If your impairment level is total at least 25% of the time, you would have a score of 4. And remember, you're going to get one of those scores for each of the domains. Then the VA will take all of those scores from all of those domains to the rating table, where it will be converted to a specific rating. If you have a 4 in one or more domains, or a 3 in 2 or more domains, you'll be rated at 100%. If you have a 3 in one domain, or a 2 in 2 or more domains, you'll be rated at 70%. If you have a 2 in one domain, you'll be rated at 50%. If you have a 1 in 2 or more domains, you'll be rated at 30%. If you have any service-connected mental disability at all, you will have a 10% rating at a minimum. So good news, the 0% rating is going to go away. All right, that's a lot to take in and absorb. I've tried to make this process as clear as I can, but I think it's something that everybody is going to have to go through a few times before you start to see how all the pieces really work together. So, what are my thoughts on this? Time's going to tell, but I think this change is probably going to be okay, or it's going to be kind of meh. Now, it is definitely going to change how veterans will have to present their arguments, telling the VA that they got the wrong rating, but ultimately, your percentage rating is going to rely very heavily on the effects your disability has on your day-to-day life. And in that regard, it's no different than the current system. A lay statement from you and the people who interact with you daily will be key to winning these things. And again, that's something that really won't change with this. And we are going to spend a lot of time arguing about how significant your symptoms are and how much they interfere with your life. There is still time to provide the VA with your comments on this regulation, and I'll put a link for how to do that below in the description. Hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like me to help you with your VA disability claims, you can reach out to me through the links below. I'm Al Walsh, a veteran who likes to help other veterans. Thanks for watching.